We are tonight's entertainment.
What the fuck is this, Chet?
This is a tasty burger.
Were you rushing or were you dragging?
You like Huey Lewis on the news?
Is this your homework, Larry?
Welcome back to the Film Scoop. We're back again by popular demand.
I wouldn't say that. I think a couple.
Can you say by popular demand if the demand is like 3 people? Is that allowed?
It's popular amongst them.
It's popular to
It
me.
really depends on what your scale is.
Exactly. Time's relative,
Yeah.
you know?
Time is a flat circle.
Exactly. Yep, we're back. Got a couple new movies to talk about.
Ooh.
And we'll go over what we've been watching. But first, we're going to jump into some trivia.
Ooh, trivia off the rip.
Yep.
Let me get
I mean, there's nothing else to really talk about.
Got it.
So we'll start with that. Both of my trivias are just quotes that you got to guess what movie they're from.
Okay.
And I think they're both really easy.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be too hard. My first quote is, "It makes no damn sense." Compels me, though.
Oh, my God. I know it.
Oh, I thought you'd instantly get it.
I see that scene playing out in my head. I just got to place who it is. Oh, Knives Out. Sorry.
Yeah.
That took way too long, dude.
It did. I thought it'd be really
It took
easy.
way too long.
Yeah.
The second I was like, I see that guy saying that in this like wooded room. And
Yeah.
then it just took me
Yeah.
a little longer.
My other quote is, "It was never about the money, man. It was about proving that the human spirit's still alive while everyone else inches down the freeway in their metal coffins."
I wonder what that could be. Point Break.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, I have an easy one, and then this one would be hard for me, but I know you know a lot more about like behind the scenes stuff than I do. But the easy one is, what animals are bad guys in Drive?
Sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no shark bad guys. Shark
No
good
Drive
guys?
question's gonna be hard for me.
Yeah.
That's you're barking up the wrong tree right now. If you want me to miss a question on Drive 2011, directed
Hell
by
yeah.
Nicholas Winding Refn,
That's what.
that's never gonna happen.
When was Ryan Gosling born?
1935.
I don't think. I like the confidence. I like the confidence.
Just
but
don't fact check it. And
If
I'm sure it's
if
right.
I'd never seen him before, the way you said it, I would have been like, yeah, of course, of course, it's 1935.
Yeah, no, it is. Just don't. Yeah, just take my word for it.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, he was born during World War II.
All right, my next question is, what movie holds the record for using the most fake blood?
It Chapter 2.
No, it's not it. Chapter 2. I saw that, but
People said it was.
I could be wrong here.
When that movie came out, people said it broke the record for most blood used.
It might have been in a scene.
Oh, you're talking about
Most
for a
blood
whole
used-
movie?
Yeah, for the whole movie. Because It Chapter 2 obviously popped up. I looked at the numbers, and it was like 4,500 gallons that Chastain got blasted with.
Is it Evil Dead?
It is Evil Dead.
The
Damn,
remake,
you pulled.
right?
Yeah, you got both of them. Yeah.
Yep.
Nailed it. 50,000 gallons of fake blood.
And
I don't think it was the remake.
49,000 of them were in the final scene.
Yeah, I don't think it was a remake. I think it was the original.
No, it's definitely the remake. You don't think it was the remake?
I don't
You
think
think
so.
it was the one with Sam Raimi fucking out in the woods with his pals? You think he had access to 50,000 gallons of fake blood?
I don't remember seeing the year 1981.
That's not right. That's wrong. It's
That's
the remake.
what it's saying.
It's the remake. Let me look it up. Most fake blood used in a movie.
I have 50,000 gallons is what I have as the actual number, whichever one it is, which is just an absurd amount of fake blood. Oh, no, it is the new one. It's the new one.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So I was right about both.
Yeah.
The most blood in a scene is at chapter 2, and most blood in a movie is the Evil Dead remake.
Hell yeah. You're on your shit today, dude.
Hell yeah. That's what happens when you get me warmed up with a drive question.
Hell yeah.
I drive. That's what I do.
How about this?
You shut your mouth, or I'll kick your teeth down your throat and I'll shut it for you. That's what happens here.
What a fucking cool thing. On paper, that's not a cool line.
It's not.
But when Ryan Gosling
But you get Ryan
says it
Gosling to say it with a toothpick in his mouth?
with fucking fingerless gloves on,
Yeah.
dude, I'm busting.
Yeah.
I'm busting all kinds of
It's
nuts.
wet everywhere. So, did you have anything you wanted to discuss before we get into the watch list?
No, I have a couple surprises in store for things in regards to the watch list.
Oh, okay.
The only thing I will say is I am doing this whole thing while enjoying a nice glass of milk.
Thought that was necessary information.
I wanted the audience to know what I'm all about.
You wanted them to know you're a milk drinker?
Absolutely. I consume milk on a regular basis. I was trying to keep up that
Yeah,
mood
I mean,
serious.
you do. I mean, just milk in cups.
Yep.
Not milk with cereal. Not chocolate milk. Milk. Cups of milk. That's weird.
Tell that to Sam Sulik.
You can't compare yourself to Sam Sulik. All right.
I mean, you haven't. I don't think you've seen me with my shirt off very often, but I mean, you give me like maybe 3 or 4 days.
First of all, Sam is juicing out of his mind. Second of all, he works out like a lunatic. So, he's trying to get in as many calories as possible. And milk is high in calories. So that's why he does that. Not just for taste. You're doing it for taste. That's why you're doing it.
Maybe I want calories.
No. No, you don't. You're not fooling anyone. You drink milk because you like it.
You got me.
There's no getting out of this one. All right. The watch list. First up on my watch list is Good Will Hunting.
I saw you watching that. I was probably doing something lesser than something stupid, but
You were.
I came in for the "It's Not Your Fault" scene.
You did.
And I watched that and I was like, holy fuck, dude.
Yep. It was just the time of the year. I guess around like November, December. Just probably October, November's the best. Like, you want to watch it during the fall.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
But Christmas, like December is for Christmas movies and October is for Halloween movies. So November is like the sweet spot to watch fall movies. So I was just in the mood. I had some time on my hands. So I sat back and curled up under a blanket and watched one of my favorite movies.
Hell yeah. That's what it's all about.
It gets better every time I watch it. Can't believe that Matt Damon and Ben Affleck wrote that movie. Because it's like way too good for like those two guys to
pulled it out of your ass like that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say about it. Hasn't been said. I mean, it's
it's Good Will Hunting.
It's one of the best screenplays of all time. It's one of the best movies of all time. It has one of the best endings of all time. I mean, we're talking about just hard dick on all levels when we're talking about Good Will Hunting.
Fully erect.
Absolutely no flaws in it. It's also really funny. It's really well paced. Like, I could watch a 3-hour cut of Good Will Hunting. But it's 2 hours and it like flies by. So yeah, that's I think Good Will Hunting right now, let me double check. I think on my favorite movies of all time list, it is at Number 7.
I was gonna say it's in your top 10, right?
Yeah, it's number 7. Right behind Dead Poet Society. So I feel like those two are close. They're interchangeable almost. And it's right in front of Game Night.
I forget the game. I keep forgetting Game Night's in your top 10.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's in my top 8.
Hell yeah.
That would be a fun episode to do. Is talk about like our top 15 favorite movies.
Yeah.
Just a really hard list to make. I made a top 30, but like looking at it, it's pretty much like my top 2 are in a tier of their own, and then it's like a 28-way tie for third.
I mean, I do think that there are a lot of perfect movies out there. There's a lot of movies that really speak to me on like a higher level. So I think it is pretty hard to narrow it down to 15. But I mean, we can always give it a shot. It wouldn't be the first time I've said something that was wrong on the old pod.
Yeah, and they're movies that I love, so I could talk about them, I feel like, for a decent amount of time.
Oh, yeah.
Be a probably a pretty fun episode. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know.
We still have a good amount of movies to watch. Maybe not this coming podcast. Maybe the one after.
Well, and I'm not talking about that. I'm saying, I was going to say, like, at the end of the year.
Oh,
but
yeah,
we'll be like... We'll probably be doing like rankings and stuff at the end of the year for the 2023
movies of the
releases. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, Good Will Hunting. It's a 5-star. Always will be. Always has been.
Sometimes you got to go see About a Girl.
How you like them apples? And then the next day I watched my buddy Eric's short film, Ethereal Cascades 2, sequel to Ethereal Cascades.
Hell yeah.
Pretty sick. Pretty amazing cinematography in those. Pretty much all it is cinematography. It's like basically like a cinematography reel.
Yeah.
Like, hey, look how cool I am. Look at all this cool footage I have.
I really like your review for it on Letterboxd.
Yeah, even though you said you didn't understand it.
Well, I didn't know what the movie was, and then once you told me, I was like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah. Yep, so I watched that, and then later that day we watched Thanksgiving.
Yes, we did.
Which is one of the new releases we'll talk about, so we can go ahead and talk about that now. What did you think about old Thanksgiving?
I liked it. I have I wouldn't say that I like Eli Roth's, like, as a director. He's a great guy. I like Eli Roth. He seems like a really fun guy. But his movies, I feel like, they're just not for me.
Yeah, I feel like you have notoriously hated Eli Roth.
I don't hate Eli Roth.
You hate his movies.
I do. I actually don't mind. I don't mind Hostel. I think Hostel's a really cool idea. I just think that the ultra gore fest isn't something that really captivates me. So if that's your big come watch thing, is just gore, then it's not going to attract me that much. Like Green Inferno, I liked some of the social commentary on like what was going on. I try not to spoil anything for Green Inferno, but I like some of that. It seems like his movies always spark with a cool thing, and then it turns into like just gore and nastiness, and then that's kind of it.
Yeah, he's known for really good practical effects and
everything
kills.
All the movies look good. Everything looks good. It's just I need something more than that to propel me forward.
Well, I've only seen 2 Eli Roth movies, at least before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was my third. And one of them was Knock Knock, which if you listen to our episode on worst movies of all time,
there's no defense
it's on there
for Knock Knock. Do you have a Keanu at the end of Knock Knock impression?
Fuck. I've never done that before. You fucking crazy bitches! That was almost too good.
Yeah, you
Like that's
were too good.
It's not
I
a good
believe-
impression because I don't sound like an idiot.
That was just superb acting compared to compared to what happened.
It sounded a little like too good acting.
Yeah.
For that to be the scene in Knock Knock, but so one of the two I've seen is not good, and then the other one was Death Wish, which I saw in theaters. This was before I was into movies, so like I watched it, and probably at the time I had a good time because I saw a Bruce Willis movie, and I was a pea brain. But like looking back on it, I'm sure it's not good.
Death Wish wasn't good.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like I forgot everything that happened, and I'm sure it's not very good. But
I'd remember one thing from Death Wish, and that's, I guess this is a minor spoiler for Death Wish, if you're gonna watch that. But at one point, a guy's head gets crushed with a car, and intestines fall out of his head instead of brains.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah,
I would have never remembered that was from Death Wish though. I just remember us seeing a movie and then
we
that
looked at
happening,
each
and
other and
we left and we were like, "That was weird, right?" When that happened, and spaghetti came out of that guy's head.
yeah, that was wild.
Yeah,
Absolutely wild.
Is Death Wish a remake of Death Sentence?
No, Death Wish is a remake of Death Wish.
Oh, okay.
Death Sentence is like just a heavily inspired movie of Death Wish.
Okay,
But
because I read the synopsis to Death Wish and it sounds like Death Sentence.
it's
The
very,
superior
very
film.
similar to
Kevin
Death
Bacon,
Sentence.
James Wan.
Yeah.
I mean, they cooked.
No, Death Wish is a older Charles Bronson
Yeah, it's a
movie.
Charles Bronson movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Eli Roth. Third movie from him. The other two were bad, but I really liked this. It was fun. It was like exactly what I wanted it to be.
Yeah, it was like a Thanksgiving themed Scream is
Yeah.
what it felt like to me.
Yeah, and there isn't a lot of Thanksgiving movies in general, so that's already like you've got a room to eat up with a Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah.
Like Christmas movies, there's a bunch of them people already like. It's kind of hard to make one that people are going to put in their rotation every year. But and Halloween too, like there's so many good horror movies. But Thanksgiving is like you got Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and in my opinion, Knives Out, and then that's pretty much it for Thanksgiving movies. Or like Charlie Brown Thanksgiving or some shit.
Honestly, fucking genius move on doing this around Thanksgiving because Halloween, October is just
So bloated with
slammed
movies.
with horror movies. And then the new popular thing is to do like a Christmas horror movie to really like shock the audience.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of becoming like stale a little bit. Like people are kind of starting to expect it. And for him to drop it on Halloween is like, holy shit. And I think it's going to really like stay in my memory longer than some of the horror movies I watched actually during Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just thought it was a lot of fun. I don't know, I just normally get this feeling when I watch bad slasher movies, like new slasher movies, where I'm bored and I like check out and I'm like how much is left, and like you're predicting everything before it happens and you're just kind of going through the motions. And with Thanksgiving, that didn't really happen, and I was kind of just chilling like the whole time. I was like, I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
The acting's pretty good. I mean, the kills are nasty.
Yep.
There's a kill with a freezer that was, I guess it's not a kill, but there was a assault with a freezer that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that
and
was
then like
pretty
a
crazy.
kill with an oven that was pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff. And I was on TikTok today and I saw this big fat guy on a stage, like he was a stand-up comedian, and I was like, that's the guy from Thanksgiving, and it was him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his name's Tim Dillon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I know about Tim. Yeah, he's a comedian. He's got a little old podcast and stuff.
Yeah,
I think he's really funny.
yeah, like he was funny in Thanksgiving, and then I was like why is the guy from Thanksgiving doing stand-up comedy? This doesn't make any sense. Yeah. There's been a lot. I feel like there's been a lot of that. The Cocaine Bear movie had a TikToker in it. I can't remember his name, but I feel like that's just and Addison Rae's in this one, of course, who like got famous off TikTok. So
I did not know her.
You don't know her?
Mm-mm.
Like you don't know? You've never heard that name before?
No.
Oh, wow.
I've heard of a lady called Charlie D'Amelio, but I don't know of Addison Rae. Is Charlie D'Amelio not popular anymore?
No, she is. It's just the way you said it, and it's.
I don't know what she does. Like, you know,
they do the same thing.
There's another person, Dua Lipa.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's a singer or if she's
a singer.
Okay, yeah. I don't know what. I know those names.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard Addison Rae's name.
She's the same thing that Charlie D'Amelio is, just a different person.
I don't know what Charlie D'Amelio does.
A TikToker.
Okay.
You just said that.
I mean, I knew she was on TikTok, but there's people on TikTok that don't. That's not like what they're known for.
No, they're known for it. They danced.
Oh, okay.
That's how they got famous. Anyways, yeah, she's in it and she's pretty good. So that's cool. What did you want to add anything about Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was an easy watch. Didn't feel very long. It wasn't as gruesome as I thought it was. Went into it blind, and then you told me before we watched it that it was an Eli Roth movie, and so I was like, well, the gore is going to be insane, and it really wasn't like as nuts as some of his other movies.
Well,
the gore's there, but like compared to Green Inferno and Hostel, it's definitely a bit more mild.
Well, I had kind of a different experience because I haven't seen the Eli Roth movies that have gore in them. So I've seen 2 of his movies, but neither of them have gore. So I wasn't comparing it to his other gory movies. I was just comparing it to what comes out nowadays. And it's a lot gorier than what comes out nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's a scene where a guy gets a rod sent through the back of his head in a pickup truck with his 2 daughters sitting next to him, and there's a pipe in his head. He's dead, and there's blood gushing out of it, and his daughters are just staring at him.
Yeah.
It's a pretty extended shot, like where they keep looking at him with a pole where his head used to be.
Yeah.
And it's like a blood fountain.
Yeah. It is, you know, there is still gore, and it is more than what you get nowadays, but the Eli Roth like staple amount, it was a lot easier of a pill to swallow compared to like Green Inferno or Cabin Fever or Hostel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gore was really good. It's kind of like surprising that there hasn't been a Thanksgiving themed horror movie, because when you see like the guy dressed up as John Carver, it's like, how has this not been done before?
Yeah, it seemed like
it reminded me of V for Vendetta.
Yeah,
the way he kind of looked.
Yeah,
kind of looked like a Guy Fawkes mask, and how he's upset with corporate greed.
Yeah,
and like he's rebelling, and I don't know. It reminded me of that a little bit. Yeah,
yeah. Pilgrims are creepy. I will say there was also some jump scares in the movie that fucking got me. There was 2.
I remember one
that got me. I went, oh fuck. But they do this, what I think is cool, but in horror movies nowadays, the new thing is to delay the scare, like
draw it out.
Yeah, draw it out and then do the jump scare. That kind of leaves you ready for the jump scare. And this one, the jump scare happens immediately. So like when I see a person like walk down a room, I'm like, someone's gonna be behind her, but she's gonna look and they're gonna be gone. But no, the guy just fucking jumps out and kills her. I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, it was the one I remembered you jumping at was the trash can scene where he's like they're walking down the hallway at the school, and then they see like the trash can. He's like, "What the hell?" And then he jumps out at him.
Yeah, dude, I was like, he's gonna say some kind of joke.
Yeah, they're gonna walk up to
He was
it.
like, "That's weird," and then just fucking takes him.
Yeah.
That fucking got me.
Yeah. So I gave it a 3.5. I think I could see myself rewatching it around Thanksgiving, maybe in a year or two.
Yeah, I think it's a fun time. I gave it a 3. Nothing really bad about it. I just feel like it was a fun time, pretty straightforward, and that's kind of it.
Also, the Black Friday sequence at the beginning of the movie was like really well done. People don't understand how difficult it is to craft a scene with that many moving parts.
Yeah.
Because you have all these different characters and all these different places in the scene. You have to get coverage of all of them. There's security cameras that have to capture everything, but it can't capture it with like the actual cameras in the shot. So you have to like basically record it with the security footage, and everything has to sync up, and you've got like 500 extras, and it's really, you got to plan out like shot by shot before you start shooting. You got to storyboard like everything and rehearse, and it's pretty difficult to do that stuff. And it was really cool. The sound design and everything, it was really well done.
Yeah.
So just wanted to point that out.
Heck yeah. And that might sound like the Black Friday scene might sound like over the top, but like I just watched a video on the Cabbage Patch Kids like freak out that happened, and a lady got her arm like trampled on and broken.
Yeah.
For Cabbage Patch Kids, not even Black Friday. These were for bald, stupid-looking dolls. Mm-hmm. They don't talk. They don't pee their pants. They don't laugh when you tickle them.
They don't do anything.
They just look like me.
Yep.
That's all they do.
Yep.
So.
No, Black Friday used to be really crazy.
Yeah.
They used to actually have deals that people felt like they needed to get, and they would trample the fuck over you if you were in the way.
I also really like the well, you guys relax, you'll get your free waffle iron. And that's what they're in there for.
Yeah, there were a lot of funny moments.
Yeah.
That, like, I can't remember all of them, but I remember laughing at the security guard at the Black Friday scene. And he was like, "All right, everybody just calm the fuck down." And I don't know, everybody kept saying fuck. And I think that's like a common thing in Eli Roth's movies. I think he just like, the way he writes his movies, he cusses a lot in them. Because I went to bed last night doing Inglourious Bastards, and the bear juice scene happened, and I was like, hell yeah. Teddy fucking Williams out of Fenway Park! And yeah, I love that scene.
Yeah. Eli Roth, too. A handsome guy.
A handsome devil.
Great looking guy.
Yeah. Especially handsome next to Quentin Tarantino, his best friend.
Dude.
That's crazy.
Don't stand next to Quentin. Don't stand next to Ebro.
Don't stand next to anyone. Dude, it's crazy because he has
stand
to
next
do
to
press.
the bottom of my shoe. God, he looks like shit, dude.
Oh boy, it's crazy because he has to do press. He has to go on press tours with Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio and Margot Robbie.
Yeah, dude.
And then there's him.
Just only cast Clint Howard in all your movies.
Cast 5 Clint Howards so you can not be the ugliest guy there.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Dude, it's crazy how odd he looks.
All right, I gotta stop talking.
We
about
gotta
movies,
get back
dude.
on track.
I'm gonna stop being able to breathe here in a second.
But yeah, if you guys didn't know, Quentin Tarantino and Eli Roth are like best friends.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I don't think you know this, but back in 2007, Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez did the Grindhouse thing where Robert Rodriguez made Planet Terror, and Quentin Tarantino made Death Proof.
I did know about that.
Yeah, and they're like,
Grindhouse
you know, they
movie.
go together as like a package deal.
Mm-hmm.
And in the middle between the two movies on the presentation, there's fake trailers that they made just for Grindhouse, just for fun.
Oh.
And Thanksgiving is based on the fake movie trailer that Eli Roth made for that.
Ooh.
He made a Thanksgiving trailer, Grindhouse trailer, for a movie that doesn't exist. It was just like a funny fake trailer. And so they've been talking about like making it a full movie for years, and he just now, like, I guess, finished the script and got everything together to make it. But
That's freaking awesome.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
They should make a full version of the Tropic Thunder trailer with Tobey Maguire
Oh yeah.
when he's like a priest or something.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Oh,
I want
God.
that.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, but it was Toby and RDJ.
Yeah.
Gay for each other.
Sign me up.
Hell yeah.
I'll be there day one. Next on the old watch list is Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
I also watched Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, you did now.
I did. I didn't want to leave you awaiting my arrival for dawn.
Well, that's good.
Yep.
You should have told me that, though, because last night I considered watching Dawn when you went to bed, because I assumed you didn't watch Rise, and I was like, I'm not going to wait around with my cock in my hand waiting for Carl to watch Rise, because I need this shit in my veins. And I asked Logan if y'all watched anything while I worked Sunday, and she said you watched John Wick 4, and I was like, fucking great. So now I still want to watch Dawn, and he hasn't watched Rise yet, and he bitched at me for watching Rise without him.
First of all, pal, I'm going to need you to just tone it down. It was your
I'm
idea.
cool. Calmer than you are.
It was your idea that we watch John Wick 4 while you were gone, because we couldn't do it the night before, because my wife sleeps 11 hours a night, easy, and couldn't handle the old JW 4 that night. So we watched it while you were at work, which was your idea.
Yeah.
I followed through on your idea.
Yep.
And all I told you was, I'm going to watch Rise so that we can watch Dawn.
You say you're going to do a lot of things.
This was pressing. This is Dawn. This is Planet of the Apes. This isn't fucking chump change, pal. This is real deal stuff. This is reality. All these other games you play don't fucking matter. This is Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
This is Matt fucking Reeves.
Well, this isn't.
This situation was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt's waiting on us.
Yeah.
And if another day went by without you watching Rise, I was about to pull the plug. And
I have to get to Matt, and I don't care how many men, women, and children I have to kill to get to him.
Okay, so yeah, I watched Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I gave it a 4-star, but
Is that, what did you have it before?
4-star.
Oh, okay.
I kept it at a 4-star, but I don't know. I feel like maybe that's not enough, because I love this trilogy. It's one of my favorite trilogies. And there isn't really much wrong with Rise. It's my least favorite of the trilogy,
Of course.
but I don't really have flaws with it. So I'm not sure why I give it a 4. It just kind of feels like it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have it at a 4 as well. And it doesn't feel right putting it at a 4.5 for some reason.
I guess it's because I have War at a 4.5, and I think War's a lot better.
Yeah.
So
It's
Yeah.
definitely not equal. I think the definitive ranking, I think, is 4, 5, 4.5.
I don't know if I have Dawn at a 5 right now,
Oh, really?
but I think it probably will be once I rewatch it. Let me check what I have it at. I've got it at a 4.5 right now.
Maybe we'll have to jump it up, dude.
I think it probably.
I think
will
once
jump
we
up.
roll in there, penile's hard, and we know what we're getting into. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be really wild.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to pay attention because obviously I love Matt Reeves. He's one of my favorite directors. But I was trying to pay attention watching Rise. Like, okay, did this guy, Rupert Wyatt, did he like do a good job directing here? Or is Matt Reeves just like running fucking circles around him in terms of direction? And honestly, I was pretty impressed by the direction for Rise.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's just a movie that is really easy to watch, really entertaining. It never gets old. Like something's always changing and evolving, but also like the actual camera work and certain like sequences you could tell were planned out for like a long time. Like there's one sequence where they take Caesar into the woods on like a leash to walk him and like let him play and shit, and it's like this scene where he's climbing up this tree, and then a branch will move over the camera, and then it'll cut to like a year later with him. He looks older and the season changed, and then it'll do it again, and the camera keeps panning up, going up the tree, and a branch will cover the camera, and then it'll be a different like it'll jump forward in time again, and he's a little older, and it's like a really cool shot, and it's something that you can't just do like spur of the moment. Like that's something you planned out for a while. Yeah. And it's pretty fucking cool. And there's a lot of shots like that I was like, damn, this isn't some like Marvel just director for hire, just do what we say director. Like this guy kind of fucking snapped.
Yeah, no, he fucking knew what he was doing 100%. And that's what I think is so insane about the Planet of the Apes trilogy, is that the first one, being a different director, doesn't feel like disjointed at all. Mm-mm. It all still feels like a very consecutive trilogy that has been built.
Yeah. The only thing that kind of feels odd is that they never... James Franco never shows up again in the series, but I think it doesn't bother me because I feel like the whole point of the first movie was Caesar becoming, who he is. Yeah,
his own person.
And joining his people.
Yeah.
And, Caesar is home. So he doesn't need...
Don't get me started, dude.
He doesn't... What the fuck is James Franco's name? Will. So he doesn't need Will anymore.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they had their fun times, but now Caesar's a big man, and he's running shit in Ape Town.
Yeah.
So all the homies are counting on him. So it never bothered me that he doesn't show back up. I like that Caesar, like, it just becomes Caesar's franchise, and you don't have to balance like any of that stupid Will shit anymore.
Yeah, I think it was good.
It works for the first movie, but I think they made the right call. Like, just moving on.
That first movie happened, and now here we are.
Yeah. Yeah. So Caesar getting dropped off at the fucking facility, like, makes me really sad.
Yeah, dude. Logan almost made me turn it off.
It makes me really fucking sad.
She was going to bed, and I was like, I'm watching Planet of the Apes. And she was like, do you want me to put it on something else? And I was like, why would you do that? She was like, well, this is really sad. I don't want to go to sleep to sad stuff. And I was like, well, you're gonna.
Too fucking bad.
Yeah.
It's called That's Life.
Cry yourself
fucking
to sleep.
Get over it. I'm watching cool shit.
Caesar is not home right now.
I can't go to bed until Caesar's home.
I don't know if you know this, but ape alone, weak. Ape together, strong. No one fucking taught her that lesson.
Yeah. There's certain things that just hit me emotionally. I can watch some movies about really devastating shit, and it's like it doesn't faze me at all. But certain things... Well, a perfect example is The Dark Knight Rises. I will watch a gut-wrenchingly sad movie on paper, and I'll just be like, yeah, that was good. And, like, it won't affect me at all. But then I'll watch The Dark Knight Rises, and I'll cry 3 times.
That's crazy.
Because some things just hit me in the nerves, and Planet of the Apes is one of the things that just, I don't know, it just works for me, and it makes me feel things. Yeah. And Caesar feeling like he's being abandoned is some of the saddest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, dude. I just went back and he's signing I Want to Go Home to like James Franco over and over again. And James Franco like shakes his head and he fucking loses his mind. I was like, oh my God. I'd shoot the place up. He's coming home.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but he lives in that attic. You must have not gotten the message.
Yeah. So Caesar at first is like really fucking upset, and James Franco comes and visits him, and he gets really excited, but then he realizes like he's still not coming home. And then the next time that James Franco comes back, he like bribed the guy to give Caesar back. He was like, fuck all this shit, like here's an absurd amount of money, I'm taking my fucking get my boy back. Yeah. And Caesar had like moved on. Like at first he drew his fucking window on the wall in chalk, and that always just kills me. Like that's some of the saddest things in movies I've ever seen is Caesar drawing his window on the wall and then him erasing it. Yeah. And first of all, that's just great visual storytelling, but like that's just some sad shit right there. So then when James Franco comes back and he bribes the guy and Caesar can actually come home, like he's like, I'm good. Yeah. Like I'm with the homies now. And and then I felt really bad for James Franco. I was like, fuck. Yeah. Like he's only in here because Caesar fucking attacked that guy. And Caesar, that's what's so sad about it too, is Caesar's only in there because he was protecting Will's dad. Yeah.
From their douchebag neighbor, dude.
Yeah.
I was hoping, like every time I see that scene play out, I'm like, rip his face off.
You're going to prison anyways. Just fucking kill this guy.
Make it worth it. Yeah. Eat his face. But he just bites his finger. And I'm like, God.
Yeah.
Take more, dude. Take him down with you.
Yeah. I hate that when I'm watching it now and I see Will's dad like start wandering out to the car. I'm like, you fucking bitch. Like you're fucking Caesar over.
Damn
like,
you, Lithgow.
Dinkelberg. And I'm thinking this whole time, like, this crusty motherfucker just stays in the goddamn house and doesn't go out and try to fucking drive people's cars. Caesar'd be chilling in the attic right now, wearing his red shirt, being the homie. Yeah. That's what would be happening right now. Yeah. But fucking Lithgow had to go fuck it up. Yep. Him and with his Alzheimer's.
And his fucking dumbass piano playing Debussy.
Yeah. Yep. Fuck him. But yeah, overall, I really love Rise. Caesar is home.
Enough said.
What can you say?
The final bridge battle too is
pretty awesome. I like when he everybody in the shit is afraid of the big ape in the cage, and Caesar lets him out.
Yeah, dude, the gorilla.
Yeah. And now they're the homies.
That gets me too when the chopper takes down the gorilla. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, dude. That was tough.
Yeah. But I just love that big cock shit by Caesar. Like, every ape in there is afraid of this guy. And he was like, fuck you. Yeah. I'm letting you out.
Once he's in there and actually starts, like, calculating and is, like, talking to Maurice, I'm like, this guy's going to fucking take over this place. Yeah, and then he hands out all the cookies. Yeah. I was like, dude, it's over.
Yeah. This is wraps. Yeah. And then he thinks of the plan to go up to the top and like open it up, and escape.
Oh, the big cock shit of giving the bag of cookies to that one ape and making him hand them out to all the other ones, do his bidding for him.
His dirty work for him.
Dude, that was,
I got bigger fish to fry.
Cold.
How about you hand out these here. Chips Ahoy?
You give him the cookies. It's beneath me.
Yeah, it's my shit. Like I don't know. I may move it up to a 4.5. It's a really easy watch. Well, it's not an easy watch because it's sad as shit at parts, but it's a very entertaining watch. Yeah. So yeah, now we can get into the filet mignon of the trilogy next, which is Dawn.
Heck yeah.
And I'm so fucking excited for that.
It's going to be awesome.
Imagine. Oh, I forgot that I didn't realize like that Koba was in the first movie.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't really put that together, but I kind of just assumed that they made Koba, because there's so many apes that you can pretty much like introduce a new ape in each movie, because like you haven't had enough time to go over each one.
Yeah.
So you can just say like, here's this guy. He's been here the whole time, but you're just now meeting him. But yeah, Koba's like,
he was like
he's getting fucked with a lot.
Yeah.
Like he's a lab rat for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the sprinkles of the seeds of
him becoming
Koba and Caesar.
Yeah.
How both of them started is their ideology and how they wind up clashing, which is pretty sick.
Yeah.
And Koba is very distinct looking.
Yeah,
If you lined up 50 million apes, that one's fucking Koba.
That guy fucking did it. Yeah, so yeah, fucking love Rise. Next up, a hot topic recently, Napoleon.
I've got some tricks up my sleeve with Napoleon here.
Just for the scoopers out there, me and Carl disagree quite a bit on Napoleon.
Yes.
Because we left Napoleon, and he said that was an easy 4-star.
That is what I said.
And I said, man, we are not on the same page right now. I'm cooking with butter, and you're cooking with oil. That's what's happening right now. We are water and oil right now.
Yeah.
I didn't like it at all.
So
that's that.
Yeah, I have changed my rating.
Oh, so you were pressured by what other people thought about it, and now you're not giving your own opinion.
Somewhat.
Wow.
Somewhat.
That's
so
the
here's the road
shit I've ever heard of my life.
Here's the road I went down. All right, I left there, and I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. I don't think it's as boring as you say it is. At least to me, it's not. And I was like, I was taking a dump, reflecting.
As one does.
Yeah, and I was like, they did spend a lot of time, like, just banging his wife and being upset about his wife being banged. I brought it down to a 3.5. And then every review I saw on it was like talking about these historical inaccuracies. And then that led to our discussion on if you're telling a historic movie, if it's okay to like change things. And I said that, it depends if it serves the story, if it, you're not making a documentary, you're making a movie. So if there's some spice you have to add, I get it. Or if you're trying to be like respectful to someone who's passed, I think it varies from situation to situation. Ideally, you're as accurate as you can be. Mm-hmm. And you talked about, in the movie, Napoleon shoots cannons at the pyramids of Giza. And I don't really have a problem with that. But I went down a deep rabbit hole and watched every video I could on Napoleon. Like I watched a Napoleon documentary. And they didn't put any cool shit from Napoleon's life in the movie. So the conclusion I came to, like, when I learned about what was going on, I was like, yeah, dude, why the fuck was he in Egypt fighting Egyptians? Why did that happen? Mm-hmm. They don't ever go into detail about that. And then it's like, he gets exiled, comes back, and he's like, you're my boys. And they're like, you're right, okay. And it's like, why did they forgive him so much? You don't get to see him be this super charismatic. Like, he wasn't a good public speaker, but when it came down to him with the troops, with the fellas, he fucking crushed it. There's a famous painting of him touching like one of his troops who has the Black Plague, which killed a lot of people.
A third of the world.
Quite a few people.
Yeah.
And he touched them. And they saw that and they were like, oh my
This
God,
guy's
dude.
got a huge
Napoleon
cock.
would do anything for us.
Yeah.
There was no conflict when he came back from exile.
Yeah. I feel like, well, first of all, there's a director's cut of this coming out pretty soon. Ridley Scott wanted the movie to be 4 hours long. And the studio said, fuck you. Go fuck yourself. That's what they said. So he had to release this in theaters. And now he's releasing like a 4-hour cut on Apple TV probably within the next couple months. And everyone I'm seeing is saying like, oh, I can't wait to see the 4-hour cut because I could tell that this version was like chopped to shit and there's parts missing and they just jump from location to location and it's not very cohesive. And I was like, yeah, that's true. I can see that too. It feels like sometimes there's things happening and it's like, I don't even know why this is happening. They're just saying that it is. A war will start happening. It's like, huh?
Yeah.
Like normally in war movies, there's some explanation and there's buildup. And it's like, this is why we're going to war. Shit would just happen. And to be honest with you, you couldn't pay me to watch a 4-hour cut of Napoleon. I don't care if it's a better movie that connects some dots. I'm not watching it.
I don't think I would either. And it's mainly because I didn't realize how like controversial of a figure Napoleon is.
Oh yeah, a lot of people think of him as like a hero. A lot of people think of him as like a dick, and because he got a lot of people killed, and he had a very like I don't know, maybe like irresponsible take. Like he would kind of just do shit and not think it through and get a lot of his own men killed.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I learned a lot about Napoleon. I had no idea how controversial he was. I know a lot of people think of him as, you know, a hero. Some people see him as like a terrible person, a big tyrant, which he kind of was. But there's still like stuff that happened in the Napoleon era that you see in like France today, like stuff that they still implement. And also, like when the movie starts, Napoleon was like 17 at that time. It was like a 10-year span that he took over Europe. And it's also like important to know that he came from basically nothing in a time where it really mattered like who your parents were and what your name was. Mm-hmm. He became the emperor of France and took over Europe as like a nobody. That to me is cooler than him being in some kind of weird relationship.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of assassination attempts on his life, which I feel like would have been cool to see from like him kind of forcibly taking over a lot of things. And I feel like a lot of his character and what makes him interesting was taken away at like sacrificed to get this romance kind of thing going on, which I feel like is such a smaller part of his life and his impact on society. Yep. It'd be like if you did a Lincoln movie and just talked about his nervous breakdown instead of the rest of his life.
Yeah, and apparently most of the extra footage in the 4-hour cut is of their relationship.
I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah. So that's even better. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I want to say it's a character study on Napoleon. First of all, I don't even know what this movie's trying to say. I feel like you leave this movie and you don't like. Were they trying to say that he was a good guy? Were they trying to say that he was an asshole?
Oh, I think they were saying he was an asshole.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I feel like it was just so like, what is the point of making the movie? I guess. Like, I left it and I was like, I really don't even know what Ridley Scott's trying to say with this movie. It's damn near 3 hours long, and I don't even feel like I really understand who Napoleon is at the end of it.
Yeah.
I want to say, I may be alone here, but I almost want to say Joaquin may have been miscast as Napoleon. I never once during that movie thought I'm looking at Napoleon right now. I just thought I'm looking at Joaquin Phoenix in a funny hat. That's all I see right now. Some roles, even when they're A-list celebrities, like you can, like when I was watching Oppenheimer, like I know that's Cillian Murphy. I've seen him in dozens of movies, but he's so good in that role that it feels like you're looking at Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
It never once felt like that to me with Napoleon.
Here's the thing, though.
I feel like he's one of the best actors working today. That's not taking anything away from him as an actor, but I don't really feel like he was the best fit because I don't even never really felt like he was Napoleon to me.
Here's the thing, though. You take Joaquin out, you plug in anyone you can think of, and you're going to feel the same way. And I think it's because of how his character is written. Because you have basically a guy who was like the Donald Trump of the 1700s. You know, that fucking riled up the troops. People were willing to sacrifice everything for him because he was able to talk his way into doing this shit. And then, like, even his retreat from Egypt, when he left Egypt, he was like losing and came back and sold it as a victory to people so they wouldn't think he lost. But in the movie, he comes back because he finds out his wife's cheating on him. Mm-hmm. And him lying about it and, you know, basically portraying himself as like this god to his troops is more interesting than just my wife cheated on me.
Yep.
So there's I don't think it was Joaquin's fault. I genuinely think that, I don't know if Ridley Scott has kind of like a bias. You know, apparently people and like British people don't very much like Napoleon that much. Mm. Maybe there was some kind of bias. I don't think he really checked in on a lot of the facts. I think he wanted to tell a side of Napoleon's life that people don't know a lot about and people really don't care about, unfortunately. Like, I don't care about his relationship with Josephine or whatever her name was.
Yeah, I can't say that's what drew me to watching it. I don't know. There's time for romance in movies, but I feel like with Napoleon, what makes him interesting is his rise to power and him as a strategist. Yeah. And you never, like, I never really got the vibe of why everyone respected him so much.
That's what I'm saying. It didn't really
show you in the movie. It was like 20 minutes into the movie, and this guy was telling him, "You're the greatest leader in the world." I was like, the fuck has he done? Like, yeah. Why is he what are you talking about?
Yeah.
All he's done is put on a funny hat. That's all he's done.
Yeah.
And you're saying he's the greatest leader in the world.
That's what
It's like they're just saying these things that we haven't seen. Yeah. It's like this could have been like a really cool, like, slow burn movie of him rising through the ranks and showing what makes him so unique and what makes him different, what made him different from everyone else, and why he gained so much power coming from nothing. But instead, everything was skimmed over, and we spent half the movie on a romance that really no one gives a shit about.
Yeah.
And
there's one scene in the movie of him handing out a few pieces of bread to his troops, and they look pissed off. Mm-hmm. And it's like, these guys will die for this man.
Yep.
In real life, like, these guys were like, yeah, whatever Napoleon says. And you get none of that. Mm-hmm. Joaquin plays him very uptight at times and quiet, and then he'll kind of cut loose and be all goofy in front of his lady.
Nom 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 nom.
And that's it.
Nom, nom, nom. You mean like that?
Yeah, that stuff. So,
that was crazy.
That was, yeah. I did laugh. That's funny. That is pretty funny. But
I enjoy my meals. I do.
Yeah, and unfortunately, so I retract the. I think if you go into it not knowing much about Napoleon, if you don't know anything about Napoleon like I did, you'd probably give it like a 3
No,
on average.
I didn't know anything. Give it a 2.
I don't think people are gonna hate it as much as you do. But now I'm left with a question of like, what do I give it? Because honestly, I'm sitting at like a 1.5 stars right now.
What the fuck?
Now that I know like all that went on with Napoleon, all the stuff that he left out, all the stuff that he chose to like dwell on that doesn't really matter, it kind of really turned me to fucking hating the movie.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's lower than me.
It is.
I hated the movie too. But I gave it a 2. I'd just like to give movies out of respect, even if I find them boring. I know technically you should probably, like, if you don't like it, like if you actually hate it, give it a 0.5 star. Like, it's still, I respect it a lot more than something like The Open House. The Open House has nothing I respect about it.
Yeah.
And Napoleon has some incredible action sequences that you can tell were intricately planned out, and all these like horseback scenes that God knows was a nightmare to shoot, and the cinematography is gorgeous, and I mean there's a lot to respect about it technically, but so that's where the 2 stars comes for me, is just like on a technical level it's a pretty well made movie that not many directors could make visually like that.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like the colors were a little bland and like dead looking.
That too.
Which isn't never a good thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
go ahead and hit the people with your letterbox review for Napoleon.
Oh yeah, more like Napoleon.
Dude.
Yep.
That's perfect.
Yep. Was not a fan. We also saw it in IMAX, so I was uncomfortable the whole time.
Yep.
I watched a long, boring movie, upright.
Yep.
For almost 3 hours.
That's probably the only reason why you finished it. It's because you were upright.
Yeah.
If you were horizontal,
it would have really been nap time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went from fucking pretty high on it, and then I was mowing the lawn, and I listened to a Napoleon documentary and a Ulysses S. Grant documentary while I was mowing the lawn.
That's some old man shit.
Yeah,
there.
dude. And I was like, what the fuck is all this stuff? Why didn't this happen?
Yeah. During Napoleon, I felt like I had been sitting there for a while, so I was like, okay, this is probably about over now, right? And then I looked at my watch, and it had only been 45 minutes. I was like, God damn. Holy fuck. So, yeah.
I highly encourage everyone to do some Napoleon research, though. It was really interesting. Crazy fucking guy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I knew anything about him.
Yeah,
good thing I didn't just spend 3 hours watching a movie about
Once
him.
I watched that documentary, and I was like, oh, all I know is that he fucked a girl named Josephine.
Yeah.
That's insane.
He was like a little autistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wasn't. I don't know why he acted like that.
Well, Joaquin said in an interview that like when he was researching him, he found out that he was kind of like really odd socially. Like he was a really good strategist, but he was very odd, like talking to people.
I do know the documentary I watched said that he wasn't a very good public speaker to like regular people. But when it came to the soldiers, he got him going.
Yeah. I've got one more on my watch list. Did you have anything?
No.
So it was your new watches or your surprise watches were Apes and the 2 documentaries?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ulysses is a cool guy too, by the way.
Yeah. Not as cool as Taft.
I didn't get
Taft
the Taft.
is the
I
homie.
didn't get to the Taft one, dude.
You got to get into the Taft one.
You gotta get into the Taft tub, dude.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
Last night I watched One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Ooh.
Yep, you were in bed. I got home at 7:30 and you were in bed. I was like, man, I can't wait to watch a movie with my pal Carl tonight. In bed, 7:30. So that's what happened. So I watched something on my own.
I want the people to know that my wife asked me to retire to our bedroom, and I agreed. And that's all I'm going to say.
It doesn't help
That's
with
all I'm gonna say.
what I just said.
That's all I'm saying.
Anyways, I had to watch a movie by my lonesome, and I just kind of wanted to rewatch this because everyone always talks about how great it is, and I enjoyed it a lot first watch, but it didn't really blow me away where I was like, this is a masterpiece. So I watched it again, and I kind of fell in the same spot. Maybe I like it a little bit more than before. I still have it at a 4.5. So I really enjoy it. I think could be. I'm gonna go with second best Jack Nicholson performance on The Shining. But if someone said it was his best, I'm not no quarrel with me.
Well, about Schmidt.
Moving on. But yeah, I like it a lot. The ending really kind of sticks with you.
Yeah.
And it's very upsetting ending. And it's kind of hard to decide whether the movie makes you hopeful or depressed. Because I feel like it does both. And I just like that. I like the story of like this guy coming in here who's not really crazy, and he's kind of just like acting crazy so he can get out of his work.
Yeah. And
he gets there at first, and he's like very judgmental, and he's calling them all nuts, and he doesn't like understand why. I don't know. He treats them lesser than, and then he hangs around them so much and gets to know them, and then really starts to like care about them and treat them with respect. And also, I wanted your opinion on Nurse Ratched, because
bitch.
I was looking through the Letterboxd reviews, and almost every review was talking about how Nurse Ratched's a bitch and how she's like she should burn in hell. I was like, I feel like I may have watched a different movie, because she's only a bitch because we're seeing the movie through Jack Nicholson and the prisoners' perspectives. But she's just doing her job. And at first you hate her because like Jack Nicholson's trying to get the World Series on the TV, and she's like, "Oh, well, you can do a vote," and no one voted on it. So she was like, "Okay, so we're not doing that." No one voted on it. And then like the next day they vote on it, but she says the meeting's adjourned, and then he gets the 10th vote, and then he's like, "All right, we got 10 votes, like change it." And then she was like, "Oh, the meeting's already been adjourned, so you had 9 votes when the meeting was adjourned." And so you think she's just like being extra and being a bitch for no reason, but really in hindsight, like these people kind of need that kind of regimen and routine, and they need like this consistent thing, because once he starts, I'm gonna find out his character's name because I keep just calling him Jack Nicholson, McMurphy. Once he starts like he's trying to help everyone out and let them have fun, because he thinks that they're just like they're not living their life, and they're you know, like he's just trying to kind of open up their minds a little bit, and he kind of fucks them all up a little bit. Like the kid especially, what's his name? Billy Bibbit. Yeah, he's the kid with a stutter.
Mm-hmm.
And like, spoiler alert for One Flew Over. Gonna dabble in that for a few seconds. That kid fucking kills himself.
I was gonna say, is that the kid that killed himself?
He killed himself.
Yeah.
And that's obviously wasn't the intention, but that's a direct result of McMurphy's actions.
I haven't seen One Flew in a while.
Basically, like towards the end of the movie, McMurphy throws a party, and like gets all these hookers in the facility, and like has all this alcohol, and he got the window open, so he's about to escape, and then he falls asleep, so he forgets to escape. So then, like Nurse Ratched and everyone else shows up, and everybody's fucked up, and the Billy Bibbit they found him with hooker. And then Nurse Ratched was like, well, I'm just afraid she tells him, like, I'm just afraid how your mom's going to react. And so he freaks out and kills himself because he doesn't want his mom to know or whatever. And
so okay. Yeah, I do remember that. So let me ask you this. Obviously, McMurphy is unacquainted with dealing with people in this situation. Right, he comes in there, he doesn't understand how they think, what they do, and the regime. Ratched does. Ratched knows what bothers these people. She's worked with them for a long time. She knows to what extent that they are gone. Mm-hmm. She medicates them on a regular basis. So saying that to him, I think she knew would bother him. Well, I don't think she thought it would make him kill himself.
She knows how to get through to people. And she knows how to scare them. She's trying, if they are doing something that they're not supposed to do, she's going to try to get them to not do it again. And that kid, Billy, his thing that teaches him not to do something is just saying like, oh, well, what would you do if your mom found out? That's like his thing. So she knows all these patients really well, and she knew that like he would be upset by that, but you can't blame that on her that he killed himself. Like she didn't know that was going to happen, and she's just doing her job, and she's trying to run a tight ship because it needs to be a tight ship because these are all loonies.
But
and
McMurphy didn't know it would kill him, make him kill himself either.
No, I'm not saying he did.
I think Nurse Ratched.
I'm just saying, like,
I don't a hard ass.
That's kind of my point. Is I never got the vibe that she was evil or that she was some like great villain or like she should go to hell, and like I was like, she's just a hard ass, and she's lensed as the antagonist because of who we're seeing the story through. But like, I think especially once you finish the movie and you look back on it, you realize like she knew what she was doing. She knew how these patients needed to be treated, and they can't handle like variation. Like they need a very specific kind of treatment.
I don't know. I remember watching the movie and it being pretty clear that she was a pretty cold bitch. I remember watching it and thinking she was a mean lady. And I think that even that TV show Ratched, like, plays on her being kind of evil, too. I don't know anything about the show Ratched. I just know it is Nurse Ratched from One Flew Over.
I might do some research on it and see what people have to say about it, but
I'll have to watch the movie again. But you want to know something crazy?
Mm-hmm.
My first time watching One Flew Over, I was very young, watched the last half of it. Don't know why. And I remember them bringing in McMurphy at the end after the operation. I was like, why is he being all goofy?
Why is he not talking?
I was like, what's going on with this guy? My dad was like, oh, they lobotomized him. And I was like,
what does that
What do those words mean? That you just said. They're like, oh, they cut out some of his brain. And I was like, so why doesn't he just get up, dude? What's wrong with this guy?
Dude, you know there's pictures online of lobotomies, of real lobotomies being done?
No,
Yeah.
but gross.
It's like from the 60s when they used to like do fucked up shit. And they would just drive a rod through your brain.
Dude,
That's crazy.
mental institutions early in the day, horror shows.
Yeah.
Absolute horror shows.
Yeah.
Disgusting things happen.
That is... I was listening to Joe Rogan talk about it. Like, that was... They got up to some shenanigans back in the 60s.
I'll tell you, that's not what's happening. That definitely wasn't what was happening.
Yeah, I'll do some research and see what other people think about Nurse Ratched, but I kind of just got the feeling that she was a hard ass. And yeah, like, you can be a bitch and not be like an evil person. I don't think those are the same things at all. So sure, she's a bitch, but at the end of the day, she's just a bitch that's doing her job. So the audience kind of hates her because we are watching the movie through the patients. But
No, I see what you're like. She's not out to get anybody.
yeah,
She's just not the coolest guy.
yeah.
Around.
Like, nobody even has a problem with her until McMurphy shows up. McMurphy's the only one with a problem with her. Like, everyone gets along with her, and then at the end of the movie,
Well, everyone could have had a problem, but just not had the confidence to voice it until McMurphy got behind them.
well, sure, but
Or McMurphy could have persuaded them into being like, well, yeah, that is fucked up. Fucking Ratchet.
yeah.
You know?
I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, at the end of the movie, once McMurphy's like gone, or yeah, he hasn't shown up yet, but he's getting the lobotomy, and that one guy walks out, like past Nurse Ratched from like the dentist, I think, and she was like, she's wearing a neck brace because McMurphy fucking choked her. And almost killed her.
Yeah.
And she was like, "How did your operation go? Did they fix your tooth?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, they did." And then she was like, "I bet you feel much better now, don't you?" And then he was like, "Yeah, I do." And that was it. And I was like, that was sweet. Like, see how when there's no McMurphy, like, and things are just going back to normal, like, she's just a nurse.
I'm going to have to watch this thing, dude.
So,
I'm going to have to get behind this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to get to the bottom
all
of
the
this.
scoopers can chime in on this. Let me know what they think about Nurse Ratched, but I'm kind of Team Ratchet right now. I'm kind of
It's time to get
waving
to the
flag,
bottom of the
waving
age-old
the Ratchet
question.
flag.
Is Ratchet a bitch? Or is she a normal
Bitch
lady?
or not bitch?
Yeah. Or is McMurphy just a fucking psycho that tried to kill some lady?
Yeah. He's. Oh, I love this scene. I love the scene when he's telling the boys. There's times where he calls the other patients the boys.
Oh, yeah.
He's asking her to turn down the radio so the boys can talk.
You have
And
no
he
idea
keeps-
what he's saying.
He keeps repeating it, and she's like, "Well, no, we need to keep it this loud because there's older patients that can't hear as well." And he was like, "Well, it'd just be nice if the boys could have a conversation."
Dude, I really like when they're playing basketball and he keeps trying to get Chief to fucking...
Yeah, dunk.
Yeah, to dunk.
Yeah.
First of all, he starts calling him Chief.
Yeah,
Ultra racist.
Yeah.
Ultra racist.
I love when he
out the
meets
gate.
Chief. He sees him and he's like, "God damn, boy, you're about as big as a mountain."
Fucking shit his pants when he sees Chief for the first time.
Oh, it's a really funny movie.
Yeah.
But I love the scene when he's telling all the boys, like, "Oh, we're sneaking out. Like, we're going to party tonight. We're sneaking out." And they were like, "Dude, you can't get out of here. Like, they're not gonna let you out." And he was like, "I'm gonna put that thing through that window right there, and then we're gonna leave."
Yeah, he tries to pick it up.
They were like, "You can't pick that thing up, dude." And he was like, Anybody want to bet?" and he starts collecting everyone's money, and he tries to pick it up.
He gives it the
He
old,
doesn't. And he makes the stupidest face trying to pick it up. It's so funny. It doesn't move an inch.
Doesn't he roll up his sleeves to do it?
Yeah. Does not move an inch. So that's really funny. But yeah, and then he sneaks out and takes the boys on a fishing trip.
Yeah.
That's just...
I do remember the fishing trip. It's just men being dudes.
Guys being dudes.
Yeah.
That was one of my Letterboxd reviews I liked. It was just... The whole review just says guys being dudes.
Just be nice if the boys can have a conversation. It's just him and 4 psychos.
Oh, dude, there's this one part. So, there's this one part where he's trying to get votes so they'll put on the World Series. And so he finally gets 9 votes, and he just needs one more vote. So he got all the votes of like the people in the therapy group that they're talking to, but she's like, I only count 9 votes, and there's 18 people in this ward. So he has to go around to like the random people that weren't in the group and try to get votes.
Explain what baseball
Yeah.
is.
So
and
he goes up
explain
to
what
all
a
these
vote
people
is.
and he goes up to like 4 straight people and he's like, baseball, World Series, like just raise your hand. Just that's all you got to do is raise your hand, and nobody will do it. And he walks up to this one guy. I don't even know how to describe what this guy looks like, but he walks up to him, and the guy's like albino, and he's like he has like no hair, and he just looks like a complete fucking disaster. He just looks like a crazy person. He walks up to him, he opens his mouth, and then he's like, and then just like walks away. He doesn't even try with that guy. It's the funniest shit I've ever seen.
No fucking way.
I'm gonna see if I can pull it up real quick.
I don't believe you.
It's the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen.
No big deal.
Nah, forget it. Not him. Okay, let me see if I can find the clip real quick. Voting scene.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay, I think I've got it.
I gotta
What is
watch
that?
this before I go to bed, dude.
Dude, you have time? You're not gonna be sweepy?
I'll probably just watch until this moment and then go to
Dude.
sleep.
It's so fucking funny. Okay.
I love Jack Nicholson.
Dude, he's so good. Here we go.
Just raise your hand up, Banchini. Watch the ball game, huh? Okay, all right. What about you, pal? All we need's one vote. Just one vote. Just your one vote. That's all we need. Just raise your hand up and your buddies can watch the baseball game.
This guy right here.
I think that's the
He
guy.
looks like the guy from Hills Have Eyes.
I think it's him, dude. I think it's him. I was just about to say, I think that's Hills Have Eyes.
If it's the guy with the big cone head that's pale as shit, then yeah, it's probably him.
The way he's standing in front of the window.
He's like chained up
He's
against
like
his
crucified to the window.
just forget it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's gold right there.
Yeah,
That's
so
way too good.
like the movie has a really good sense of humor, I think. But yeah, that's what I watched last night. Man,
What?
I don't really have anything else that I need to talk about.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Maybe we
I
just
do-
freeball it for a few minutes.
I do think that one interesting thing that I did, like, I watched it that initial time when Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and I rewatched it, and I remember thinking it kind of having something to say about people who act more rambunctious and more different and are our reaction as a society towards them is like, this guy isn't the same as us. Get him out of here. Because McMurphy isn't like crazy, but he does do crazy shit on occasion.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, we have a tendency to, anytime someone's kind of like different or doesn't fall in line or doesn't operate the same way as everyone else, we kind of, you know, medicate. We have a tendency to like medicate them and, you know, push them, you know, away from everyone else.
Yeah. I feel like it's also just talking about people that think they're better than other people.
Yeah.
And when McMurphy first shows up, like, he definitely gives off the vibe that he thinks he's better than everyone else there. And that they're all loonies. And, you know, the movie goes on and you realize how close everyone is to becoming one of those people.
Yeah.
And also, like, I mean, I don't know. It's not really like a bad thing for these people to be living like this, because that's, you know, like those, well, every situation's different, of course. Like in real life, there's really sad situations, but like in this movie specifically, those people in there were like happy. Like they weren't like angry and upset all the time and mad and wanted to leave. And a lot of people in there were there by choice. They could leave anytime they want. They're in there because they want to be.
Yeah. I mean, this particular situation, you know, it is just a secure facility with doctors and people that are qualified to medicate and assist these people in living, is all it is. They do lobotomies there, which is a bit of a no-no.
A bit of a oopsie.
An oopsie daisy.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like the boys that he discusses with are just guys there. They come out, they have lunch, they eat Jell-O, they play chess, and listen to the radio.
Mm-hmm. The boys.
Yeah, the boys. I mean, think about what you do on a Saturday night. They're doing the same thing.
Same thing.
Just
Hanging out
inside.
with the boys. Also, when McMurphy first shows up, they're all playing cards, and he's like, "Why the fuck are y'all playing cards without betting anything?" And then they were like, "Oh, well, betting's not like allowed here." And then he was like, "Well, fuck all that. We're betting." And so they started betting, and at the end of the movie, when McMurphy's gone, you see them, like, everything's calm and everything's back in order, but they're playing cards, and you can see them like betting. So that was like,
oh yeah,
you know, a metaphor for McMurphy's influence on them, and how like he may not have been the best thing for them, and it's definitely, they're better off now, and, you know, with the order that Nurse Ratched has for them, but he made an impact on them.
Yeah.
And that's what's important.
Yeah. Got him to cut loose a little bit.
Yeah. Shout out to Christopher Lloyd and Danny DeVito.
Hell yeah. Nailed
Dude,
it.
That's crazy that's Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
He looked so cute.
Don't call him cute.
Dude, he looked so cute in that movie.
Nah, he was cute.
Yeah.
100%.
He was like smiling the entire movie.
Yeah.
And he has those bushy eyebrows.
Yeah.
Dude, he was a cute little guy. I don't know what else should we talk about?
Shout out to Hills Have Eyes guy. Oh, we watched the first episode of Dark.
Oh yeah. We did do that.
This seems like a show. I don't know a lot about Dark. I know possibly some kind of time manipulation occurs or something to do with time.
That's pretty obvious based on the first episode. I mean, like, the opening quote was time related, like when you first start the show.
But that's
like,
the only hint we've seen towards it.
Well, I don't know. I guess, like, I've just gotten like visual nods.
Yeah,
like the
a couple,
opening,
the pictures being connected, kind of.
yeah, and the, like the opening credits, like how everything's like mirrored.
Yeah, but it seems like obviously it's the first episode. There's still a lot we got to learn, so there's not a ton to discuss right now.
There never is after you watch the first episode of the show.
I have no idea where they're gonna go with it.
Yeah,
at all. But it was it did get its hooks in me immediately.
Yeah,
and I was ready for more.
It sets up a lot of conflict in the first episode. Yeah,
there's already immediately kind of this mystery of what's going on. This kid's missing. You're learning about all these new characters.
This guy's cheating on his wife.
Yeah, there's a lot of tension that builds up.
Yeah,
in the first episode, and then you get this look into like where one of the kids is, and it's a really weird looking place.
Yeah, it's weird because like you get the vibe from the show that it's like science fiction, and you sort of get like Stranger Things vibes.
Yeah,
like
I bet
like the cave might take you to a different dimension or something.
Yeah,
but then the place where this Eric kid is just looks like fucking Buffalo Bill's house. Like it just looks like he's being held prisoner by like a serial killer or something.
Well, it looks like like a facility.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like a house. It looks like it's very brightly lit. It's like it kind of looks like a fucking hospital room that he's locked in with fucking is it Tears for Fears it's playing nonstop.
Yeah, it's like he's in the 80s.
Yeah,
but not like the guy that's holding him captive is like just a fan of the 80s and plays 80s stuff. Like I'm sure since time is it seems to be such a big factor in this show that kid probably is like in the 80s.
Yeah,
but
you see him
gonna save him or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but you see him in this room. It's a very brightly lit, commercial style room, and you see the TV playing with 80s shit, and then it fucking cuts again. And it shows the whole room, and there's this like electric chair in the middle of it, in between them. I was like, holy fuck, dude.
Yeah,
this is some wild shit.
Yep.
So, I think Dark has a lot of potential.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think it had a good first episode.
Yeah, we did goof for a second and started watching the dubbed version.
Yeah, it took a while. Like for a while, there was no dialogue, so I didn't know it was on. And then, the second someone said like the first line of dialogue,
this kid was like, "Mom, the power's out." And he went, "Oh no."
oh boy. And,
yeah,
changed it instantly. Yeah. But yeah, it happens. It's like when you watch The Wrong Martyrs on accident.
Not my fault, but yeah. That was not my fault.
It wasn't your fault. It happens.
Listen, if I do something dumb, I'll be the first one to tell you. Yeah, I did it. It was me.
Yeah.
But in that scenario, I did something dumb, but it's Netflix's fault. Or Tubi's fault. Whatever it was.
Yeah. They didn't do you any favors that time.
They led me down the primrose path on that one.
So how's it come and get an Oppenheimer Steelbook?
It's not good.
Yep.
It's about as easy as going to the fucking DMV to get something done.
Yeah.
The prices have gone up. I think last time we talked about it, they were at around 80 for the old scalpers.
No,
they've
they've never been at 80.
I saw one for 80 whenever it first sold out, and I was like, well, I have to buy a premium price for it. I saw a couple like 85, but now they're around the old 120, 130 piece.
I pretty much only see them for like 115, 120.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Fuck it.
Maybe you need to stay on top of your shit next time.
No.
What were you about to say?
I was gonna say no one could have predicted this in the Mayor of Whoville voice, but I genuinely understand it was the biggest movie of the year. I did not think it would sell out to this level of that fast, that quick. Everyone wants it. The standard 4K selling out.
I knew the Steelbook would sell out, but I
knew it would sell out, but like even like Spider-Verse 2 sold out, but it didn't sell out anywhere near as fast.
Yeah, I think you had like a day or two for Across.
Yeah.
And Oppenheimer, you had 3 hours.
Yeah. So like I figured it would sell out, but not fucking Taylor Swift concert tickets level sell out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's 100% my fault. Like I didn't get the tickets in time, but I didn't think it was a do or die moment. Like I thought I could come home, take a shit, and then
the critical moment.
Yeah, it was now or go fuck yourself.
That's a good trivia question. What movie did I just reference?
Yeah.
Critical moment.
Did anyone get the quote that you gave me whenever we talked about that?
No.
Figures. Did anyone try?
I think Spitfire tried, and he didn't get it, and then I told him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I know what that is. Like I know what that's from. I just didn't think about it."
Heck yeah. Very niche quote.
Yeah.
Very niche.
Yeah. That's. I mean, when you got two Chads in a room, you got to think of some shit that's gonna.
You got to go outside the box.
Yeah. We saw what just happened when I gave you. It was never about the money. I mean, that was chump change.
Yeah.
So you got to step it up, do something odd. Like, this is what I like to call the critical moment.
You know what I need to do?
Why do you keep skipping over what I'm saying?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm saying, what movie is that from?
I'm saying I don't know what it is.
Wow.
What's it from?
We'll see if the Scoopers know.
This is gonna be another one where you just say,
"Yeah, just cause fuck you."
For you Scoopers out there, what's this from? What? And everyone fucking send in your guesses. Fucking numbnuts. I was gonna say.
Let me make sure I'm getting the quote right.
I need to start calling people pumpkin puss.
No, you don't. You don't need to do that.
That is such a funny thing to say.
I mean, you can say it to me, but
nothing, pumpkin puss. I'm just teasing you.
I'd be careful.
About 15 years, you'll be living it.
Oh God, I want to get the exact.
Is there a voice you have to do with it?
I don't have to do it, but I could do a voice.
Do the voice with it. Maybe that'll help.
I found one that's like similar to the quote.
You don't even know what quote you're quoting from a quote.
Okay. All right. What do we got here? What if my problem wasn't that I don't understand people, but that I don't like them? What if I was the kind of person who was obliged to hurt you for this? I mean, physically. I think you'd have to believe afterward, if you could, that agreeing to participate, then backing out at the critical moment was a mistake.
See, now that makes more sense. But just saying this critical moment is very...
I thought you would know from critical moment.
From just critical moment? No.
Yeah. Because there's a part in the movie, I'm just on the IMDb quotes page, but there's a part in the movie where he says, I like to call this the critical moment or something like that.
If you said, I might be the type of person that would be obliged to hurt you for this, then I'm like, oh,
But that's
yeah.
not what I was referencing. I was just reading that because that's what IMDb said, but I was talking about the critical moment. I bet Alan got it just from me saying the critical moment.
Well, now you've done the whole thing.
But
So we'll never know.
I mean, he heard us at first before I read out the whole thing.
But he could just say it now, knowing the whole thing.
He wouldn't lie.
I don't know.
Not my Alan.
Alan seems like a crazy guy.
I mean, he's a crazy guy.
Alan
but
seems like
you
he
can call
might.
Alan a lot of things, but he's not a liar.
I trust you.
Yeah.
Therefore, I trust Alan.
Yeah. We're a package deal. Us Batman supporters, we roll deep.
Oh, he likes the Batman?
He loves the Batman.
Oh, dude, why didn't you say so?
No, I'll suck his cock.
He can fucking come over to my house for supper, dude.
Yeah, I think he's seen it about as many times as me. Let me see. Let me check on old Alan. You need to be more active on Letterboxd.
Yes, I do, pal. Yes, I
You
do.
keep saying that, and then you keep not doing it.
Been busy. It's busy
It
doing
doesn't take
4
long to
days
log
of.
movies when you watch it.
Oh, I can talk now? Great. Great. So he's doing 4 days of research on screwdrivers.
This is what you call important
And
stuff.
also listening to documentaries on Napoleon and Ulysses.
This is your so-called important stuff.
That is very important.
Man, well, it takes like 60 seconds to log something on Letterboxd. So you're not that busy.
I'm pretty busy. You're too busy to watch some of the videos I send you.
What videos have you sent me?
Sent you a couple. And at the end of the day, I'll go, oh, did you see that funny thing I sent you? And you'll be like, no. But I know it's because you don't want to watch it and you
When
hate
you
me.
look at the last thing you sent me. The last thing you sent me was the Rorschach video, which I watched with you. So why are you lying to our listeners?
You didn't whenever I sent it to you.
You also sent me this.
That was crazy. Fucking medium. I'm so glad we fixed that.
I've watched everything you've sent.
Yeah, after I asked you, I corner you in a fucking room and I go, look at this thing.
No.
But I send them to you earlier than that.
But I sent you the video of the orangutan driving the golf cart. So you owe me. You owe me for sending you that.
You also have the another day, another victory. Oh God. Oh, dude. That's awesome.
Another day, another victory for the OG. Oh, here we go. Here's something you sent me.
You're fond of me lobster, ain't you? Drunken in a ginny fence. I seen it. You're
Hell yeah.
fond of me lobster. Say it. Say it. Say it. I don't have to say nothing. Damn you!
Damn you. God, the lighthouse is so good.
Oh, here we go. This is what I sent back.
Oh no. The fucking
I don't even want to
Yucky.
play it anymore.
ad. I know.
I need to put that in the intro. The
Yeah.
podcast intro.
Yeah. We definitely need a
permanently.
why do you spill your beans for sure.
Why'd you spill your beans? That's good stuff.
Hell yeah.
Oh, you sent me a letterbox list that's titled "Movies Where the Main Guy Comes and You See the Cum."
Yeah, I did.
I don't want to spoil anything for Saltburn, but I think you may have a new entry to that list.
Oh.
Yep.
Dude, we gotta go watch that.
Hey! Stop the game! Stop
If you guys don't know, that's one of me and Carl's favorite quotes that we use quite often.
Yeah.
Thanks. Why'd he say it like that?
I don't know.
I also sent you that. Let's see what else we're working with here.
Dude, we got a lot of funny shit on our text.
Vince Gilligan after naming the Mexican character Nacho. Oh. This is Mike Myers. You sent me that video for Baby Driver.
This is a Halloween mask.
Oh, yeah. That's the good stuff.
Well, coming up, we got, what are we going to watch? Saltburn? Maybe the new Hunger Games?
Maybe the new Hunger Games.
Was there something else? Dawn, for sure. Got to fit Dawn in.
Dawn. We're still in the middle of the Before trilogy, which you keep forgetting about.
Yeah, we got to watch that.
Yeah, new Hunger Games, maybe. Saltburn. I was gonna watch Next Goal Wins, but I don't know.
Not looking too good.
I don't know. I mean, it's just a lot of movies to watch, and
I mean, it's soccer, dude. It's America's pastime.
yeah, fuck soccer. It's all about football. It's all about pine.
Yeah, it's all about
Real,
foosball, dude.
real men sport. Yeah, probably won't watch that. Or Priscilla, or The Marvels. Gotta watch Trolls Band Together though.
Don't bring that movie up again. Logan's
Why?
gonna make me watch it if you bring it up. And so far, it's flown under her radar.
She doesn't know it's coming out.
No.
Okay, we gotta keep that.
Yeah.
We gotta keep that a secret.
So as long as we don't watch any movies from, as long as she doesn't watch any movies in theaters from
Sorry
now
to
till it comes out, we're
all
good.
the audio listeners that I keep showing Carl memes. I showed him the meme of Lou Bloom in the car, and it says, "When you're drunk driving and you gotta lock in."
He looks like a psycho.
Yeah. Oh, the Panthers fired their coach.
Nice.
Woo!
Is that good?
Oh, it's very good. We're 1-10, Carl. I know you don't know too much about Pine, but that is not good. That is not a good thing.
Here's
to
the
be.
deal. I knew, obviously, we're not doing the best, but
We are the worst team in the league.
I didn't know it's like the coach is the problem. You know what I mean?
Oh, the coach is the problem. I mean, it's the coach and the GM. The GM controls the players that we get, and the coach has to coach them. And both sides of that have been absolutely abysmal. The players that we get are shitty, but the good players that we get, our coach can't coach. So everybody needs to go. Just fucking get rid of them.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of my sight before I demolish you. That's me looking at the entire Panther staff right now. They are
yeah.
abysmal.
Yep.
So it can't get any worse, I don't think.
You've won once.
I thought it couldn't get worse.
Worse
than Matt
is
Rule.
not winning the one time.
Yeah. I thought it couldn't get any worse than Matt Rule. And Matt Rule won 5 games.
Now we're down to 1.
Now we're down to 1. So, hey, man, I don't know. I mean, I miss Cam.
I don't know why they don't just hire you back on.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I keep
get this
telling
thing
them.
going. Yeah.
I keep sending them emails, and I'm like, dude, are y'all not getting my application?
I don't know if you guys know this, but the answer to your problem is Cam Newton.
I've sent multiple applications in for the position of head coach, and I haven't gotten a call back.
Yeah.
But, I mean, obviously, y'all don't know what the fuck you're doing. So, I mean, I'm right here.
Yeah. Your players aren't wearing grandma hats like Cam Newton, which is why you're losing. During all your training, you have to wear the hats.
That's the critical moment. Is
Yeah.
every Panthers player wearing a Cam Newton hat.
Yeah.
Then they'll all be good like Cam Newton.
Exactly.
See, you get it. You know more about Pine than you think.
Exactly.
All you got to know about Pine is that Cam Newton is the best to have ever done it. And then you're good. You're good on your Pine knowledge.
That's in the dawn of time, there was Pine, and there was Cam Newton.
Yeah, exactly. Anytime anyone asks you about Pine, just say, I mean, he's good, but he's not as good as Cam. And you instantly won the conversation.
And then some guy's like, I don't like his attitude.
And then you're like, fuck you. You want to fucking fight, pussy? You want to take this outside?
You almost did on that one guy.
Yeah, I almost fought a guy at a gas station
Yeah.
because he was talking shit about Cam.
Cash is not a very emotional person. But for Cam Newton, he was going to come to blows.
The gloves will come off if you start talking shit about
Not
Cam
to
Newton.
mention, this fucking guy was buying some mellow yellows, I think.
Ew.
If I remember right. I think he had a couple of fucking yellows in his hand, dude.
Yeah, dude. We were in line. This was like a year ago. We were in line at a gas station, and I think this guy saw my Panthers shirt or hat or something. He was like, "You're a Panthers fan?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "It's been rough past few years." And I was like, "Yeah, ever since we got rid of Cam." And he was like, "I never really was that big on Cam. I didn't like all the dancing. I thought he should have focused on football." And I was like, "Buddy, you have no idea what you
just entered the danger zone.
you're entering a world of pain." Because if you want to sit here and have an intellectual conversation about Cam Newton and his flaws, I can do that. But people who say he didn't focus enough on football because he wore weird clothes, like,
that's crazy.
What does that even mean?
That's a crazy way of thinking.
You can't wear weird clothes and take your job seriously? Like, what is the correlation here? Oh, he likes hats, so that means he's not watching film. Like, I don't know what the correlation is.
So much time putting on a hat and
it's like his time is like a pie chart, and in order to have hat time, he has to remove some watching film time. And it's like he can do both. It's not that hard.
To have some hat time.
The motherfucker won MVP. I think he's watching enough film.
Yeah.
He was carrying our shitty ass team, dude. Cam Newton's entire career in Carolina was like a Lamborghini being parked next to a fucking trailer. That's what Cam Newton was. Like, he was all that we had. We had nothing good except for him and Luke Kuechly. We had one stud on each side of the ball. We had Cam on offense, Luke on defense. That was it. And they just carried us.
And now I just picture.
Now I'm gonna starve.
I picture General Zod being like, and now I have no people.
Did he say that?
Yeah. Dude.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Yep. He's spitting then, because man, that's kind of what, like, Man of Steel is kind of my life now. Like I'm General Zod, and back on Krypton we used to have Cam Newton and Luke Kuechly, and we were a civilized society.
Yeah.
And then fucking David Tepper came and exploded Krypton, and now I have to fly to Earth with Frank Reich, and I'm like, the fuck is all this?
Yeah.
Where are my homies at?
And
So-
Superman's that guy getting yells at a gas station that you had to smack around.
What does he yell?
I will
find you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's me now.
Yeah.
I gotta find David Tepper, and I gotta put an end to this bullshit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I gotta find Tepper's kryptonite.
I don't know how many scoopers are big football fans.
Not many,
But
probably none.
Cash is a pretty big
But
foosball.
this podcast could have ended 20 minutes ago, but we're just guys being dudes right now.
Yeah, this
so
is just bonus content.
yeah, this is
You've had your scoop.
this is the
This
film
is the
scoop
cherry
after
on top.
hours
Yeah. This is the
at night. That's what this is.
post scoop.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
the
Nailed it. You got
I was
it.
gonna say the after scoop.
Yeah, you can say that. So say
Oh,
that.
you're not gonna fucking bully me
No, just
for my name,
No.
for my cool name I thought of.
No, that's fine.
Well, the scoop of life wasn't fine.
No, that was dumb as hell, dude. That was dumb as shit.
I don't see how that one's dumb and this one isn't.
I'm trying to help you. You don't see the problem. I'm trying to show it to you. Scoop of life is the problem. After scoop is there's no problem there. I didn't hit gold like I did with the fucking inside scoop. I didn't catch lightning in the bottle with post scoop.
Scoop of life definitely fucking clears. Fucking inside scoop.
Get out of here, that bullshit, dude. You know the truth. That's why you laugh at
No,
it.
dude, no, that's horseshit.
That is why you laugh.
No, because all the listeners, they chimed in on that and they said Scoop of Life was superior.
You say all the listeners. Let's cut down to brass tacks.
Alan and Spitfire, they chimed
They
in.
like the name.
Yeah, they said Scoop of Life is the shit. So
they just don't want to be on the side with a moron on it.
they don't want to be on the side.
They don't
of
want
the
to
guy
give
that drinks milk.
They don't want to give me the one win that I earned in my history and fucking watching movies.
Yeah, that'll be the long running joke. Even when you're right, it's like,
No, you're wrong.
I'm not sure about that one.
Not jumping on that train.
I'm not sure if the Batman's the best Batman movie. Now that Carl said it, I might have to change maybe it's Batman Returns.
Well, when you think about it, it's really not
Well,
that
actually,
good.
when you break this down, it's really not that complicated. Carl's a fucking idiot. Really, the best Batman movie is Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Yeah. Carl equals wrong. That's... If you don't know what's going on, just remember that.
That's all you got to know.
Do the opposite of what I'm doing.
Yeah, just like how I said about Pine. All you got to know is Cam Newton is the best thing that's ever happened to the game.
Yeah.
All you got to know about the Scoop is that Carl's a moron.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot to tell our story on the way back from what movie was it? What was the first one we saw? Thanksgiving. Yeah, the Thanksgiving ended. This is a little
Inside
late,
scoop.
like a little after scoop story time, right?
Yeah.
You know, for the OGs that are hanging out, you know, afterwards. Thanksgiving ended. We get up, we start walking out, and I'm walking behind Carl, and I see his fucking hat on the ground, and I'm like, man. So I pick it up, and I'm walking behind him, and then so he realizes like halfway out of the theater that he forgot his hat, so he turns around, and then I'm standing there right behind him with his hat, and I hand it to him, and I'm like, man, you're a real idiot.
I want you to picture this.
And
No
he busted
context.
out laughing, and he was like, what a perfect response to what just happened.
No context at all, but you're walking down the fucking road, you realize you forgot something, you turn around, a guy's walking past you, hands you what you forgot, and goes, you're a real fucking idiot.
Man, you're a real idiot.
That was so cold, dude.
Yeah.
That was insane.
There was like this string of like 3 really funny moments on our ride home from Thanksgiving, because we got in the car, I started playing music, and he was like, oh, this song sounds really cool. And then I pointed at the system that said like the song name, and I was like, it's by Hole. Because the band's name was Hole, and I just thought it was cool.
That
I
was
just
really-
pointed it out.
It was the way you said it. You went,
Yeah.
by hole.
By Hole. And then there was one other thing that was really funny.
That was my Amazon listing.
Oh, yeah, we were in the theater watching the trailers, and Carl was on Amazon looking at fucking goddamn screwdrivers, and then he leans over to me and he's like, hey, does this look sketchy? And it was a picture of a screwdriver and like 140p pixelated to shit on Amazon with no reviews. And I was like, yeah, dude, looks good. I think you're good.
Yes. That was
Some
crazy.
good shit right there. That made
Oh,
up
yeah.
for Napoleon being asked the next day,
Yeah, it definitely did.
because we have all those times that we saw, all those good times from the Thanksgiving outing.
Thanksgiving all around was a great time.
Oh yeah, never thought I'd say that Thanksgiving was gonna be better than Napoleon, but you know,
It sure is.
Here we are. I mean, God knows the amount of movies this year that we didn't think would be good that are better than Napoleon.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Cocaine Bear, I have it higher than Napoleon. I had a good time watching Cocaine Bear. You can kiss my ass.
Yeah. The opposite of fun is what you had during Napoleon.
I think I've just realized that I have Beau is Afraid too high because I have it at a 3.
Ooh.
And there's no way I like it a star more than Napoleon.
Nah,
It's got to be at least the same as Napoleon.
You got to drop that down a bit.
Yeah, that movie was a stinker. Another Joaquin Phoenix stinker? Is this becoming a trend?
Let's take it easy.
I
think he's still got
just calling out the facts here.
He's still got my faith. He hasn't disturbed me
I have
at
his
all.
faith as an actor, but maybe in his choices of the movies he's doing. I don't know.
He's picking the stinky ones.
I don't know. All I know is Leo is pretty fucking good at picking movies late in his career.
He has been popping off.
That's what I know. So I think that's enough of the scoop. I think
Hell
we've
yeah.
been talking too long.
Yeah.
So
Rambling a bit.
we'll be back next week talking about something, I'm sure.
Yep.
Get
For
up to some more shenanigans.
Another episode of the Film School.
Carl will drink some more milk.
I need some more now.
No, you don't.
I ran out
I think that's quite enough. So.
towards the beginning of this episode. I need a refresher.
You downed all your milk in the first 5 minutes.
I did, dude. I fucking looked at it. I saw it was empty and I frowned. I got upset. I gotta get out of here.
All right. See you guys next week on the Film Scoop.